Good morning, viewers, and welcome to this episode of Open Conversation. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events, and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actors to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. I am your host, Raymond Kenembata, standing in for Ms. Choma. And our guest today will be revealed shortly after this break. Stay with us.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the tongue thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Vote for government, but we not get good governance
At all.
road so e no dey, light o usai, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption. Well, everything.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And
The pleasure is mine to welcome you back to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. We have some stories here, but before the stories, I will welcome our guest. Mr. Zoe Solomon Tamanotonye is a lecturer and development expert, and also the national president, Rivers Emancipation Movement. It's a pleasure, sir, having you on Open Conversation, sir.
Good morning, Rivers people. Good morning, Nigeria. It's always my pleasure, Mr. Mbata.
Thank you very much, sir. The topics for discussion today reads thus: Rivers crisis. Fubara swears in new caretaker committee chairman. And APC condemns violence. In Edo State, PDP expels Shaibu Obi as Apata condemns insults on Oba of Benin. Also in Benue State, PDP and Labour Party members en masse decamp to the APC. In Kano State, APC wants Kwakwanso against threatening the federal government. In judiciary matters, the court directs Attorney General of the Federation and Nnamdi Kanu to explore political solutions to the debacle. And the president rebuts Aisha Yusufu's criticism of President Tinubu. These and more will be up for discussions, starting first of all with the first story online. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has sworn in the new caretaker chairman of the 23 local government areas of the River State. The swearing-in was conducted by Governor Fubara at the Executive Council Chambers of Government House in Port Harcourt on Wednesday. This follows their screening and confirmation by the State Assembly. In another development, for the second time in less than 4 months, the All Progressive Congress, APC in River State, has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to save River State from gliding into total anarchy by declaring a state of emergency to save lives and property of Nigerians resident in the state. APC also wants armed soldiers posted to strategic places across the state to guide against total breakdown of law and order, adding that non-state actors have already been hired from the creeks of the Niger Delta, allegedly led by the Chief of Staff of the Government House, Port Harcourt, Right Honorable Edison Ehie, to cause serious mayhem on innocent people. Speaking at the press conference at the APC Secretariat in Port Harcourt on Wednesday, the caretaker committee chairman of the party in the state, Chief Tony Okocha, said the call was in good faith to assuage the state from being plunged further into destruction. Sir, we will take this bit by bit and piece by piece until we are able to dissect as much as we can, sir. Starting first of all with Governor Fubara swearing in the caretaker committee chairman of the 23 local government areas. There has been a build-up up to this point. What's your take on this, sir?
Well, let me begin this way. Let me begin by congratulating the governor for that bold political step. Congratulating him in the sense that there is no one approach. There is no one approach to victory in any battlefield. So at any given time, any approach that is taken, we will look at it and then look at the outcome and if it will lead to victory. So based on that, I want to congratulate the governor for taking that bold step, because that bold step has forestalled crisis that may have ordinarily arisen as a result of the quagmire we found ourselves with the issue of elongation of tenure and the expiration of tenure of office of local government chairman in Rivers State. So I want to congratulate the governor. However, going forward, the governor should be circumspect in his approach and actions, okay, so that the governor will not win the public opinion war and lose the legal battles. This is why I am calling on the governor to begin to look, take details in terms of the Constitution. It should be guided, okay? It should be guided with the rule of law, because at the end of the day, it is the rule of law that will enable him to win all these both political and legal battles. So if he doesn't take into cognizance, if he doesn't look details, okay, into the legal issues, legal aspect of the issues, he is going to open room for the opponents to take advantage of. For instance, he should, at this time around, I believe he has good advisors, especially legal advisors, and he needs more, okay, to look at the Constitution, the letters of the Constitution very well, so as to guide his actions. Are you getting me? Yeah. So it's very important at this point for the governor to fall back to the laws, look at the constitution, and work and take actions within the confines of the constitution and with the rule of expressing the rule of law, so as not to open room, okay, for the other parties to gain advantage in the legal battles. That would be my advice.
If you may, sir, let me come in at this juncture. But before we commence, I want to also welcome with us here a political analyst, Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Rich, and good morning, Zoe, and Nigerians and Rivers people. It's good to, talk peace in Nigeria, and we thank God for that atmosphere so far.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Going back to my questionnaire, sir, you've identified some legal bottlenecks that might arise facing the governor in the past decisions he has been taking. Could you, if you don't mind, pinpoint some loopholes where you think that he might have overlooked or he might overlook in concerning legal debacles that he might be passing through, sir?
Well, for example, the Constitution does not give room for caretaker committee. However, the tenure of the immediate past local government chairman has expired, okay? And they have to leave office, which the governor have done by making a pronouncement, bringing to an end their tenure and for them to leave office. But the Constitution does not give room for vacuum, okay? So you can't leave the local government in vacuum, administrations in vacuum. So I was very happy when the governor acted very wisely by handing over power, by directing that the outgoing local government chairman should hand over power to the head of administrations in the various local government. That is a very wonderful step to take, okay? But I was a little bit taken aback yesterday when the governor went ahead to swear in a caretaker chairman. Again, agreed that there will maybe for political exigencies, okay, he has brought in the local caretaker chairman. Fine, good and very good, well. But for him not to give room, okay, for opponents to take advantage of that clause in the Constitution, he should immediately proceed with conducting the local government elections, so that by the time these other people want to take advantage to take him to court with regards to the caretaker chairman, he's already in the process of conducting election and probably even conducted election. And I think this, what we are going through is avoidable if the governor have acted, to preempt all these actions by conducting election. I don't see the reason why the governor, or with what we are hearing in the public, that there is a fear that the governor may not win election, the minister is still on ground. That is not true. As of today, with the kind of Rivers State we have, with the level of consciousness of Rivers people, with the desire and passion with which Rivers people want to take back their state from the hands of the immediate past governor, who is now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, the people will come out and vote in mass, and their vote will be in support of the governor. So I want to encourage the governor not to be afraid of anybody in the election. Let him go ahead and conduct local government election, and he will see the level of support he will get from the electorate to support his government. So he should immediately conduct election so as not to create any constitutional problem that will make the other camp to take advantage of. That is my advice for the governor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Coming to you, sir, Ifeanyichukwu, sir. Was the governor in a haste? What did he err in a haste? Being that the courts will soon decide on the case at hand concerning local governments and the extension of their tenure by the factional House of Assembly. Was the governor in a haste to fill up those positions, albeit it being not in concordance with the Constitution? Was there any better way for him to have attended to that vacuum, per se?
I'm so happy that Zoe made mention of the opportunities and the areas the governor would have taken advantage of in order to have averted the crisis in which Rivers State has been plunged into by this political turmoil. The governor had the opportunity to have, prepared himself, because prior to his coming to that office, he knew he was coming into a local government electioneering year. The governor is very much aware because he will have his handover notes, he have his briefings, and by his romance with his godfather, Chief Barrister Ezenwonye Senwike, it's obvious that he was put in the know that there will be local government election coming up in 2024. And again, the governor also missed the opportunity of capturing, handling of the election, conducting of the election, when he presented the already, abrogated fiscal budget of Rivers State, which was presented in 2023. So although that budget, as it stands now, whatever implementation that is being carried out there is termed illegal because the courts have already nullified the passage of that budget by the former ADC here-led Rivers State purported House of Assembly. And again, the governor would have captured that particular conducting of the election, because if you look at it, RISEC have been saying that they have written memo to the governor and the funds have not been released. So that is an indictment on the governor. So he was very much aware. And then, be that as it may, it is a norm in Nigeria because when an evil festers, it becomes a norm. So it's a norm in Nigeria. How many states in Nigeria are operating with elected local government chairmen in their various states? So the governor wants to maintain the status quo, as they say, to continue, building his own people around him. That is why he flagrantly refused to adhere to the voice of reason and the constitutional guideline, which the Supreme Court has already made a pronouncement that the caretaker or administrators in the local governments in Nigeria are not known to the law. But he also, who should be a child of the law, who has benefited from the Supreme Court, would have, gone ahead to conduct elections in Rivers State. We would have not been where we are today. And again, the governor also erred in, all the threats and all the political tensions in the state. The governor waited until the 17th morning before making a state broadcast. This is not being proactive at all. The governor, having known how the political atmosphere it is in Rivers State as of maybe the past 2 months, would have acted with the intelligence of the police. And we also had on good authority that last Sunday, the governor was in his hometown with the chief of defense staff. So if the chief of defense staff came to Rivers State and the governor did not preempt of the violence or the fallout that will happen in this particular local government handover torso, he would have, put in mechanism in place. He would have put in mechanism in place for, the police and the security agencies to take proactive measures in safeguarding. First, by the midnight of 16th of June, which is a public holiday, the police and the DSS and the NCDC would have taken over the whole local government, because what the other camp is saying now, that the case is under litigation. But the governor, being the chief security officer of the state, having seen the vulnerability of the people and the volatility of what is going to happen, should have taken should have had a Security Council meeting, which he held on Wednesday, which is belated. So he should have had a security meeting. He has intelligence on his table. He would have, made sure that he made a pronouncement. And he would have been on the same page with the Commissioner of Police, Dusu. Because you see what happened in River State. The governor was saying that the chairman should vacate the offices. The CP said that the governor should tarry a while, that 20th is here, when the cases will be heard. So you see that conflicting, orders and the disagreement between the two law enforcement officers in the state, blew everything out of proportion. So if the governor again have acted, that's why we always posit here that his handlers are not doing him any good. He would have called for Security Council meeting, take a proactive measure. That day, which was a public holiday, there would have been police presence barricading anybody, both his own men and the people that were to leave office, from gaining entrance. And all this, look at the life that have been lost. Look at the security agents and the vigilante officer that were shot. Yeah, would have not gone into this kind of violence.
Yes, so that's even driving us to the part B of this same news.
Yes.
And let me come to you, sir.
Yes.
Let me come to you, sir. Concerning the call by the APC for a call for a state of emergency on River State, and there are some allegations here too. Also, say that it's purported that Right Honorable Edison here is having some non-state actors, purportedly from the creeks, and that they are causing mayhem on innocent people, and also that declaring a state of emergency will save the lives and properties of Nigeria's residents in the state. Coming to the breakdown of situations in the local government councils, was it the duty of the youths or of the people to evacuate the local government chairman whose tenure had exhausted?
Okay.
I'm coming to you, sir.
Okay, let me add something to what my colleague has said here. I'm happy this morning we're agreeing on some issues. But let me add, the governor have acted within the confines, at least. I won't say he said it was belated. No. See, these issues, when they come up, the governor have to watch. He has to look. Okay? Now, it was timely, the way he has acted. He allowed them to finish their tenure so that there will be no loophole. Okay? If the governor have done anything on the 16th, it says something. They will take out. Oh, their tenure have not ended. The governor is desperate and all the rest.
So people have died.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. He waited for their tenure to finish on the 17th, and then he made a pronouncement. Okay? Yes, he would have done it earlier, which also probably would have forestalled any breakdown of land or loss of life. Yes, I agree with you to that extent.
Yes.
But it's okay. Okay, where we are, it's okay. He has made the pronouncement, and immediately he did. It gave direction because
but life's loss cannot be regained.
That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Of course, we're in a political battlefield. So desperate people, the governor have not asked anybody. Neither also give it to the minister of federal capital. I've not heard him say, my people go and fight or go and no. Apart from some local government chairman like the Kwere local government chairman who has been very much overbearing, inciting people with his statement, trying to call public attention against the governor and all that. Apart from that, the governor have acted within the, has exercised some level of constraint, just to forestall any breakdown of law and order. So if, in fact, I will say this, if the governor have acted the way he has handled this local government issue, if he had handled the 27 House of Assembly member this way, that matter would have ended for a long time. I'm coming. I'll take care of the Tony Okosha issue. But I'm trying to create a background that if he has been able to make a statement with regards to the 27 House of Assembly members when they defected, showing if he had made a statement, that would have ended that, but he didn't.
But that statement cannot be made in a fiat.
He rather
no, that particular statement, the governor has no authority constitutionally, no, sir. So that the public will not be misled. The governor would have acted only on constitutional guideline. In as much as he has the constitutional backing to pronounce the commencements of the house,
exactly.
He cannot abrogate the existence of the house by fiat.
Exactly. Now listen.
So what background are you laying?
Politically, okay. Thank God he agreed that the governor was the one who proclaimed the house.
Of course.
So if it comes to a situation where some members of the house defected, following the constitution, the governor can also come and pronounce who are the lawful members of the house.
No, he don't have that. No. Sir, please, no. Sir, please. This is misleading the public.
But you have your time. Okay. You have your time. So if he has done that, okay, that would have saved us all these steps. Now we are going with the 27 House of Assembly. But thank God. He came back, maybe probably for looking for peace. He was believing that, he said it's a father and son issue, it's a one family, they are still going to work together. So in the desire for peace, he allowed those 27 and 7 members back to the house, gave them a list to a screen. Those are some of the things just for the sake of peace. But moving forward, I was very happy that he was able to summon the courage and make the necessary decision in the case of the local government issue.
Concerning the call by Chief Tony Okocha.
Tony Okocha is just playing to the gallery. In fact, let me tell you, I'm coming. Let me tell you, Tony Okocha is just playing to the gallery. In fact, the governor will continue to disappoint them, break down their plans. The major plan of the opposition, the opponents, led by Tony Okocha and whoever that has in that camp, was to call for a state of emergency. That was their intention. In fact, I'm coming. The local government chairman knew very well that their tenure have ended and they are supposed to leave office, whether there is a case in court or not, until judgment comes. You have to obey the law. Your tenure have ended. Even if it's just 24 hours to that judgment, you have to leave office first. I'm coming. They didn't do that. Do you know the reason why they were making noise, saying they are not going to leave, threatening? You saw in the social media where they bought cutlass and all the rest. They wanted to create a situation where there will be breakdown of law and order and then call the governor's attention, which Tony Okocha have just done now. He is very skillful in doing this. So to call the federal government to declare a state of emergency so that they will evacuate the governor and then the federal government will take over Rivers State. Nothing has happened in Rivers State.
Sorry, sir. Did the governor preempt that there might be a breakdown of law and order?
Of course. That is why he acted promptly.
What step did the governor take?
Okay, what he has done. He has called to an end.
Lives have been lost.
I'm coming. He called to the end of the tenure of the local government. He made a pronouncement, gave directive for head of administrators to take over administration. And that same Wednesday, he held a security meeting, and he is doing a lot of. Now, let me tell you, to call for a state of emergency, or to say that a state is now in a state of anarchy, there are factors.
Yes, sir.
There are factors. There are a lot of things that will be on ground. There are no situation where we say people cannot go out to do. This morning I left my house and come to this place. There was no problem anywhere. Nobody stopped me. So for you to ask for a state of emergency, it means there is a total breakdown of law and order. The police in the state cannot handle it. The governor cannot, the chief security officer cannot handle it again. That is when you now call for the federal government to intervene, either with military. There are no such thing on ground. So Tony Okocha is just playing to the gallery, and their plans have failed to try to bring down the governor of Sasimila Ifubara.
Thank you, Mr. Zoe. Thank you, Mr. Zoe. Mr. Ifeanyi Chukwu, sir, what would the governor have done better? Because the call by the APC for a state of emergency is on the premise of the loss of life and maybe the degeneration of the security situation in the state. What, in your own opinion, do you think would have done better to forestall the degeneration of the situation we have, that a policeman has lost his life with a vigilante member, and also we are hearing other reports of maybe some other
people
casualties.
being maimed
Yes,
and injured.
exactly. So what do you think the governor would have done differently to be able to forestall that degeneration, sir?
You know, like I said in my opening remark, I said that the governor has failed his duty as the chief security officer of the state to be proactive, because I don't even understand what Mr. Zoe is saying about the governor being proactive when the head is already cut off. What is really going on and what is happening? So here now we find out that the governor has already erred. The governor has derailed from failing to act when he should have acted.
Pinpoint for us.
To avert this particular breakdown of law and order. And let me give you a scenario that happened yesterday. After the swearing in of the local government chairman, do you know that I'm saying this in the light of what my colleague here said, that the government acted proactively? That is
my question.
I know, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I want to make a clarification. So if the governor has acted
on a proactive step, why we are most of the people who were screened hastily and sworn in, we are not able to gain access and entry into the local government secretariats to commence for the TC chairman to now that the minister out of office on his members and they start work. Do you know that the one in Obiakpo and Port Harcourt local governments, where they started was the police barricaded the place, which has shown that the governor failed in having synergy with the law enforcement agencies, and the husband failed to handle the situation. Conducted the chairman, Chijoki Hunwa, we have it on record, that he sworn in his caretaker members in front of the secretariat gate. So tell me, how proactive is the governor to have handled this issue if such a thing has happened? That's another point. Then Antonio Kocha, who is calling for the state of emergency in Rivers State. You know, we are opinion molders, and we also enlighten the public and tell them exactly what happens on ground in Rivers State, because most of Nigerians and people watching us around the world, they don't know what the environment is like. It's from what we posit here and the pictures we paint that they begin to know what happened in Rivers State. Though most media organizations misrepresented what happened by going on air to air what transpired on Monday, which is very wrong of some media houses. It is very wrong to create panic and to create an unsafe environment for the citizenry. There is a way to manage such situations, which some radio media stations in Rivers State has failed.
And
I said that the MBC should look into that for creating that panic in the state. So what APC caretaker committee chairman, I know APC knows how to play the opposition. This is what they are good at. And it is belated, it is rather hasty for Tony Okocha, whom I left my house this morning, like Zoe said, and I'm here. If there were to be state of emergency or a state of anarchy in Rivers State, I would not be here. And if a state of emergency is declared in Rivers State, ATN will be providing me with a guest analyst pass, because there was a primary investigation I made in Kaduna State as it concerns the crisis between Christians and Muslims. There was what we call state of emergency or curfew then, and I was given a pass for me to assess the places when the town was on curfew. Not to talk of when there is a state of emergency. It has not gotten to that. This is a political gimmicks, and they know it. Them, the political actors knows it. And the governor and the camp of the Minister of FCT, and even the confusion that Tony Okocha is trying to create, they have tried to manage it. Because we see Tony Okocha and the Commissioner for Information, they go to the same radio station and they educate the people on the happenings. Tony Okocha calls press conference. Tony Okocha goes to radio stations to make his opinions known. Nobody is harassing him. Nobody, the governor has not used the state apparatus to harass him, and it is not on record that the governor has stopped any of the opposing camp, the political opposing camp, from carrying out their legitimate, or even when they want to go on protest. We are not people that come to paint, despite the fact that I frown at most of the things that the governor do and his handlers, but on this, Tony Okocha did not get it right, because as it stands in Rivers State today, the governor has been able to manage the crisis very well. He has been able to bring, to show capacity, to show that he is not a man of war. But where we are getting it wrong is that the governor takes time to act when he's supposed to act, to avert some unforeseen circumstances, especially in the case of loss of lives and the mayhem that has ensued in Rivers State.
I'm very happy this morning that my colleague here, Mr. Gochuku, is coming to entering the same, we are now sharing the same views. I'm happy of the comments he has made.
No, opinions and views are the same when you see it the way it is.
With the comments he has made about the governor, particularly the words he said, that the governor has been able to manage the circumstances, the situation, very well on ground. I want to commend my colleague here for seeing things in that light. However, I didn't say, I agree with you also, that the governor has not been proactive to some extent. Remember, I didn't say he is proactive. No, I said he would have been able to. But however, he has managed the situation very well. And if he had managed the House of Assembly situation the way he managed this one, we will not be where we are with the court issues with the Rivers State and with the Rivers State House of Assembly. That's the point I mean. But let me add this, please. As it is today, the crisis in Rivers State, okay, they are political and legal. I think political solution has failed, even to the extent where the president intervened. So the whole thing now lies in the hands of the judiciary. What is happening today, if today Rivers State falls into crisis, we are going to hold the judiciary responsible. Because it is a very straight, the legal issues are very straightforward issues. Okay, with regards to the constitution. So I don't see the reason why the courts are issuing conflicting decisions, a judgment here and there. For instance, the judgment that came up recently, where a judge decided that the 27 House of Assembly members are still members of the Rivers State House of Assembly because there is no evidence showing that they have left PDP. That is a very, with due respect to the judge, but that will not be correct, because in today's evidence law, you don't need somebody to bring document. The electronic evidence are there. So the court just need to take judicial notice. The court, we are trying to make issues. We are trying to we are trying to clear issues in. We are trying to clear issues in Rivers State. The way forward, the judiciary should make the right decision so as not to return this state to the 2002 period where we go into crisis. The judges, the court should make the right decision and put the state in place so that all the parties will fall into the law and this state will move on. That's the point I'm making. The court should not be making conflicting judgment, because the laws are there and they are very clear to make decisions.
You see, there is something I want to add to what he said. Like the call for state of emergency, Sir Tony Okocha, with all due respect to him and his office, if there is a state of emergency today in Rivers State, both the people he wants to protect and his party men, they will not be so free moving around the Rivers State. And they remember that they are calling for state of emergency in Rivers State.
To go back to
but the
2007.
people that will suffer it are the people in Port Harcourt City and Obiakpo local government, because people in the village, there might not be the need for them to draft military and police in the hinterlands. So what we are saying is that, and before we flip over, this call that all politicians in Nigeria makes, let it be known to Nigerian politicians that the Mr. President or whoever is the president of Nigeria is not the law and the constitution of Nigeria. In every little thing, like Tony Okoche in his statement, they will drag the president into what is in it?
Follow the laws?
There are laws, and
just
those,
follow the laws.
like Zoe said, these cases are before the statutory courts. And what has brought us here is also the conflicting court orders. But be that as it may, the case has moved from the lower courts to a superior court. So we are to wait and see the outcome. But dragging the name of the president and the derogatory look at trying to gain favor. No, we should make this clarification. Dragging the name, any little thing, Mr. President, now Fubara is insulting the president. No, I say no to that. In anything we want to do, let us be circumspect. Let us say it the way it is. In any little thing, you know that what they are doing now is that Mr. President had the 8-point resolution, and it was not both the two parties, you know, both the two parties failed in adhering to that proposal. It was not, they didn't break down from,
the governor and
again,
the governor tried his best to keep the start.
And again, the elders in the state, yes, the elder statesmen and the elites in Rivers State have failed. They can go for, they can reconcile these people. Because the elders, they have failed.
They have tried their best, the other camp is not listening.
They have failed.
The governor
they have not tried enough. 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 Their best is not good
That's
enough.
why they went to court.
Their best is not good enough.
The statements are law-abiding citizens. That's why they went to court.
Right now we are moving to Edo State. The PDP expels Shaibu and Obi from the party, even as Labour Party candidates. Apata condemns attacks and insults on the Oba of Benin. Former Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu has been expelled from the People's Democratic Party, and Shaibu was expelled alongside 3 prominent members, including Dan Obe, the National Vice Chairman, South-South, and Omoroge Ogbeide Ihama, former House of Representatives member. The State Publicity Secretary, Oge Vasco, announced the expulsion, citing anti-party activities. Said the decision to expel the trio was taken on Tuesday at a meeting attended by 9 members of the State Working Committee at the party secretariat in Benin City. The Labour Party governorship candidate in Edo State, Olumide Apata, has decried the political twist that trailed his recent encounter with the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Oba Eware II, over his son of the palace comments. He, however, distanced himself from the reaction of some individuals who claim to be acting in defense on the matter, just as he condemned any conduct or language that could be deemed insulting or disrespectful to the Oba of Benin. Apata, who lamented that the words of the royal father were twisted by his political opponents, added that the episode was a storm in a teacup. Yeah, Mr. Zoe, coming to you, sir. As short and simple as we could take it, so that we cover some other distance.
Yes.
The expulsion of Philip Shaibu and even Dan Obi, what's your reaction towards it?
Should I have a reaction to that? It's
Yes,
a normal thing. What's expelling Philip Shaibu? It's the normal thing. Whether they expel him or not, when it comes to election, people move from one party to the other. So expelling doesn't actually make any sense again. After all, they move from the APC to PDP so that they could win election. Now today, Obaseki have won election in PDP, and his deputy wanted the same position. He doesn't want him. He has, have crisis with him, so he moved. So it's not a big issue whether they expect. It doesn't make any political difference or political impact. Shaibu can move to any party. That is a culture in Nigeria, not unlike in America. Whatever it is, you stick to your party
and ideologies.
You believe in your party ideologies. But in Nigeria, there are no party ideology, so people only go for their interests. So wherever their interests will be they will get their interests achieved. That's where they go to. So that spell doesn't make any difference. For the issue of insulting the Oba, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's politics. Also, the candidates, the Labour Party candidates, should be very careful with the kind of statement you may. Always know that your opponent will want to use your statement against you. So you should be very careful in making public statements. And it's politics. Whatever you say, people will take advantage of it. Because I don't think a governorship candidate, will want to intentionally insult the Oba of Benin. That would be too risky to do.
Okay, so Mr. Ogochukwu, do you toe the same line?
Yes, in as much as this is the politics we see in Nigeria, cross-carpeting. I know it didn't start today. It started with Tawo and his group. And I'm not surprised that Philip Shaibu has been expelled and Obe, because you know that they are leading a factional group of PDP that are fighting against the interests of the incumbent governor and vis-a-vis his party PDP. Because you can't say you're a party man and you're working against the interests of your party when there is an election on ground, you know. So, and this came after, you know, last week we read, or early this week, we read that Philip Shaibu donated his campaign office and vehicles to the APC candidate. This is a clear anti-party activity, and this one is pronounced. This one is pronounced. But I have expected him to cross-carpet, but it will be belated. It will be hasty, rather, for him to have cross-carpeted. But all of us know that
having he wanted to use the wicked pattern.
No, having reconciled,
stay in and
kill. He don't have that kind of muscle. He don't have that kind of muscle. So, you know, having reconciled with Obaseki, and the APC chairman in Edo State openly said that once Shaibu comes, we welcome him. I knew it was going to that. Even if they spare him now, he will go back home. Going to APC is going back home. So he only jumped ship to achieve his political aim, which is continue his second term as deputy governor. So now the coast is clear, and after his impeachment, we knew exactly where he will pitch camp. He can't go to Labour Party, which is not really on ground in Edo State. He will go, because politicians in Nigeria, as we said, is always selfish-driven game. It is not in the interest of the public, but the politicians go where their interest is protected first. Okay. So that is what I say. And Obe, who has taken an appointment from the federal government, but what I want to ask the Edo PDP, is this expulsion emanating from their ward level? Because you can't come to the state and say we have not had any news that it started from the grassroots. So if they are registered members from their local ward, and they are coming to the state to make a political statement that have been expelled, they are not expelled. You can see the Digdalen even in River State, when some people cross-carpeted, even on national television, and now they are saying that they have not cross-carpeted because there will be evidence that you are a party member and you're paying your dues and all that. So it must start from the grassroots. In the other leg of it, I don't want to say anything about it because for Apata to go to the emirs, to the Oba's palace and make such a statement is just for a cheap political gain, because you know that all these royal fathers they have a way they assuage the people's sympathy. So he wanted to use it, but I am so happy that the Oba reacted immediately to tell Nigerian politicians that it is time for them to let the politics be on ideology and the and the manifesto of the party, and for the interest of the people, and not using the personalities to garner unnecessary sympathy vote onto yourself.
Please, I want to add something quickly. In his explanation, he was talking about, he brought the River State issue as an example. See, the River State issue, put it simply, equity sees to have been done what ought to be done if the first step has been taken, even if it's not completed. That is the case with the River State House of Assembly. So they don't need to provide evidence of whether they have gone to their ward to change no. Once they have expressed interest, and even in the floor of the house, and also went ahead, that is just the case. Just to make that equity seems to have been done what ought to have been done, even though the process has not been completed. And that's what the court should do.
Mr. Rich, there is something I want to say. Just 30 seconds. Please. Just 30 seconds so that we're educating people.
30 seconds. Please.
See, in the case of Mr. Zoe always makes assertions to what the law says. The law is always relative. I pose it to him here. See, the law cannot preempt an intention because your intention might be, that is why they say the intent is different. That's why when you go to court, they have, the intention, they may say you acted on self-defense. Also, the intention is what is being looked at. So, in this particular case of River State or what is happening, no, it cannot be as it was.
Let's not go back.
You cannot. It is relative. It is relative.
What is intention?
It is relative. Intentions are relative.
Let the judiciary do the interpretation.
The laws and offenses are relative.
Yes, gentlemen and ladies and viewers, we have been speaking to Zoe Solomon Tamnotonye, lecturer and development expert and the national president of the Rivers Emancipation Movement, and with Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu, a political analyst, on Open Conversation. We'll go for this break, and when we come back, PDP Labour Party members decamp to APC in Benue State. Kano State APC wants Kwakwaso against threatening federal government, and much more. Stay tuned and don't move a muscle.
In between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask oh?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery. We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so, no dey. Light inside. The infrastructure it can't turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, quell everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex. Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear. I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello? Now my body network there. I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
That behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently. Make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadehi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
Hey! But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I supposed to pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy na.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? We would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time. Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
Kasali, I hope my car don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Shebi na you say make I change the meter, make you no read again.
Which time did I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody wants to send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make it come house, call me do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
The electrician.
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make it come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, abi. So you said you want young people where be say they no want to pay NEPA bill again, abi. Oga, you know good now. You don't they behave like all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change for your motor? What you change for?
Two lights. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what now? You for come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. And something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
What you want to buy?
Potato. Small basket. I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make her no buy am. Make her show you something. What? What in be this one? Madam, this one now the chemical where they put am for the plantain make her ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop. Now water no be chemical. Water.
You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where I collect that water, drink am. I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Make I drink am. Wait, you drink am now.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
My pleasure to welcome you back to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the big city of Port Harcourt. I have been here with Zoe Solomon Tamnotonye, a lecturer and development expert, and the national president of the Rivers Emancipation Movement, and also with Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu, a political analyst of no mean repute, a sagacious and a man of timber and caliber when it comes to political analysis. You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now let's go on to further stories for discussion, sir. We have in Benue State, thousands of party supporters from the People's Democratic Party and other political parties in Benue State have defected to the All Progressive Congress, and this took place in Sankera, Kwande, and Ushongo local government areas on Wednesday during the commencement of Governor Hyacinth Alea's statewide thank you tour. Speaking during the event held at Castinala Township Stadium and the LGEA Primary School, Kwande Town, respectively, Governor Alea thanked the people for the overwhelming support given to him during the last elections. Let's start with you, sir, Gochukwu, sir. Has Governor Alea really come to stay when it comes to governance in Plateau State, sir?
In Benue
State. Sorry, sir.
You know, Nigerian politics, you know, I say that whenever you have decided to step into the murky waters of political arena in Nigeria, you must brace up.
Definitely.
You must brace up and be a man. You must brace up for the unknown and everything that is unforeseen that comes thereto. Father Alea, though he's not the first priest, in Taraba we had the priest that came through 1999 to 2007 or 2003 thereabouts. The one Father, his name will come, that was convicted and later got pardoned by the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. He has come without a political support, only that he's a Catholic priest, and the Benue State is a majority of the citizens are Catholics, and they voted him because of the antecedents and the high esteem with which they hold any Catholic priest in any part of the world. And they voted him. Then there was a political turmoil, political misunderstanding between him and his godfather, the SFG. That's Secretary to the Federal Government. What's his name now? George Akume. And I think there has been some moves by the Tortiv and some of the political leaders in Benue State to reconcile them. I don't know how, whether they are living on borrowed peace or borrowed reconciliation now. For him to also have his base, he see how Nigerian politics is after 1 year, he's not going for thank you tour. Is it a thank you tour, or he's trying to garner his own support base, which we call structure in Rivers State, his own support base going for thank you tour, so that to build, to know how popular he is, and also know that if I desire to try my hands on my luck on second tenor, how it will go, this is what I see that is playing out. So for people to decamp, it's common in Nigeria. Even the politicians themselves don't have the political ideology, not to talk about the followers. When you are doing a political rally or campaign, those who come in the morning wearing APC T-shirt will come in the afternoon with the same APC T-shirt and PDP cap. And in the afternoon, they are holding noodles shared to them by the Labour Party by their hands. So you won't even, you go to Kano that time, you say, look at the crowd, mammoth crowd. You come in the evening again, mammoth crowd. So you don't even know where the votes will come. So this is Nigeria, and that is what we continue to see.
Thank you, thank you. Sir, Mr. Zoe, sir, concerning the fact that Benue State is a food basket of the nation, and insecurity has been one of the causes of the dearth of food items from Benue State, the dearth of farmers going back to farmland. Do you think Governor Alia has what it takes to return Benue State to the food basket status that it has been before now?
Well, I don't know his leadership capacity and abilities. Yes, but every person who occupies the office of the governor should have what it takes, okay? Should have what it takes, already has what it takes with regards to the resources, the laws, and the resources available to the person's disposal. Then it's up to the individual. That's where the challenge is. Whether the person have the mental capacity, the visionary insights, and then, you know, the courage, the political will, okay, to use all those resources for the betterment of the people. If there are challenges in leadership, is all about confronting challenges. So if there are insecurity challenges in the state, it's up to the governor to garner all these things and put them in the right channel to make sure he achieves security, so as to make the state to be known, to reflect the name it is known for, the food basket of the nation. Then you talk about decamping. People decamping from PDP, Labour Party.
That was okay, personal opinion.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let's look at the story concerning Kano State. The Kano State chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Abbas, has warned the former governor Rabiu Kwankwaso that no amount of his threats could intimidate the federal government led by President Bola Tinubu. Abbas spoke following an allegation by NNPP that the federal government and the APC were working hard to create a new breed of Boko Haram insurgents in the state. Kwankwanso's comments on Monday had his background in the tussle for the throne between Muhammad Sanusi and Aminu Ado Bayero, which is before various courts. Abbas, while responding, urged security agencies to invite Kwankwanso for questioning to establish the identities of the enemies of the state he alleged were attempting to create a new breed of insurgents in the state. Sir, Mr. Ifeanyi Chukwugochukwu, sir, does the statements per se of Kwankwanso saying that the federal government intends to establish a new breed of Boko Haram insurgents in Kano State, does it hold water, sir?
If you go by what is happening in Kano State, you cannot but agree, because the emirship tussle in Kano State is a state affair. As far as we know, the federal government does not have local government and chief state affairs commission. It is domiciled in the states. The Land Use Act, according to the Constitution of Nigeria, is the lands are held in trust for the people by the governor of the state, whose right it is to allot. So we now know that from what you are saying, we don't. If you your radio sister station yesterday, we talked about it, and you go by the words of Buba Galadima, who said that if the federal government has found it difficult in 14, 15 years to contend with Boko Haram insurgents, that if they meddle in the emirship tussle in Kano, that the outcome will be what the federal government of Nigeria might not be able to manage. So if you put it side by side, you find out that that Kano State is known for its volatility, and any attempt to cause disaffection within the two camps. So the federal, within the two camps can snowball into what the federal government cannot manage, and vis-a-vis the state. So we call on them. We just call on them to. We just call on the federal government to restrain from taking sides as it comes to any matter in Kano State.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, going straight to the judiciary, the court directs the Attorney General and Nnamdi Kanu to explore political solutions. The Abuja Federal High Court on Wednesday directed Lateef Fagbemi, the AGF, and Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, to explore political solutions and reconciliation in the ongoing terrorism trial. Justice Binta Nyako gave the order while invoking the court's power under Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act and providing that in any proceedings in the court may promote reconciliation among the parties thereto and encourage and facilitate the amicable settlement thereof. Sir, Mr. Zoe, sir, one of the charges preferred against Nnamdi Kanu is treason. Can a treasonable charge be settled out of court, sir?
You see, Nigeria is a country I call expect the unexpected inside Nigeria.
I agree with you.
You see, in a situation like this, the court, that is the primary institution responsible for settling disputes between government and between government and the citizens and citizens to citizens. He is now relegating, the court is now begging a matter before the court. The court is now begging out of where will there's a scripture in the Bible say if the righteous has lost his thing, if they have lost his salt, where will the righteous? This is what the court is doing. Now, this goes a long way. There are a lot of implications to this. For the courts to be appealing for out-of-court settlements or for political settlements, it's a serious matter. Because what will be the fate of the individual? Remember, we are talking about the state and an individual here. And the law is to protect the individual because of the power of the state is so much. And that's why the court is there. So for the court to be pleading or appealing for parties to have a political solution. But that goes to tell you, yesterday I listened to this story and I watched. They try to portray it as if Nnamdi Kanu is the one asking for this. Don't be surprised. Behind the scene, it will actually be government that is coming up with this, because it is now obvious that the government does not have. Let's look at the major issues, not just settling out of court. It is now obvious that the government does not have anything against this young man. Even if they do, they don't have any evidence. So, you see, it is one thing to take action. To audaciously bring somebody from another country to Nigeria, you want to prosecute him. It's another thing to bring evidence before the courts. To accuse. When you accuse somebody of treasonable offense, you must bring overwhelming evidence before the court. I believe the government does not have any evidence to prosecute Nnamdi Kanu. But taking it beyond, in the bigger picture, the government, they continue to make mistakes, government after government. The issue is not Nnamdi Kanu. The issue is not IPOB. The issue is not the people carrying guns disturbing the southeast. There are fundamental issues. To the best of my knowledge, since after the Civil War, the people of the southeast have been treated, unfortunately, as against what Gowon said, that there was no victor, no vanquish, and that everybody will be treated equally in Nigeria. Unfortunately, to the best of my knowledge, and if we want to speak the truth, the people of the southeast have not been treated as citizens of this country. They have been subjugated. They have not been given their fair share. Okay, for example, I don't believe in ethnic or regional president, that the president must come from so-so background. I don't have. For me, in a democracy, I believe the competent, the courageous, one with the capacity to be our governor that can deliver leadership. But the Nigerian government have taken the path of producing presidents for their people and not for themselves. So it's a whole big thing that both parties, whether the federal government and the leader of the South, should come down, sit down and look at the problems of these people, just like the Ogoni people. Okay, to some extent, the Ogoni people have been taken care of at the international level. So we should look at the fundamental issues of these people and not just talking about Nnamdi Kanu. So if there is a call for out-of-court settlement, I think the government will quickly take advantage because they don't have any case against this young man.
I think Mr. Zoe has dealt a lot of blow, but I want to take some bullet points out of it because we don't have time. You know, the Nnamdi Kanu issue started as a fallout of the failure of the Nigerian state to take into account what their constitution says about the federal character, equity, fairness, and you know, oneness. Then that is where the ideology of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and said that if you don't allow our people to integrate, if you say we are not part of the positions that should be occurring to us, then allow my people to do what? To go. Then Nigerian government don't have a pre-Fashi case against him. They don't have any, just like Zoe said, they don't have, before you arrest someone, you must have done your due diligence and get an iron cast evidence against this person. Then if you come to it, I agree with the courts, but the federal government has failed to take that window of opportunity during Muhammadu Buhari's time. When we see the likes of Dasuki, the likes of Iboho, the likes of some other people that the state government, even some former governors that were given life imprisonment, the Muhammadu Buhari administration granted them pardon, state pardon. And it's coming to this, the constitution says at any time, the Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria can discontinue with any case involving either Nigerian state and another state, or within the federating unit of Nigeria, or against a citizen of Nigeria against the Nigerian state. So if the government has come in terms with it now, it is also good. Then, so that Nnamdi Kanu can go home and stay with his family. And again, is it now what Nnamdi Kanu said 2 months ago, is it coming to play that when his health is weak, when they see that he alleged that when they see that his health is about to fail finally, they will conjure a bail condition for him. Is that what is playing out? You know, time will tell. That is a very deep issue.